Hello. Hi. I'm good. I was tired earlier and had some coffee. Been outside for 1 hour. These are my Zumba sticks, which I had in Zumba class when I was 50. They're £1 each. That's it. You can strain your neck and your back if you're dancing with Northerners. Oh. little men or women. Very scratchy in the beginning. What on earth is this one? Hey, I work at a, what is it called? An airport. See, that's what they do with the things. The runway. So much for Grace. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's stop that. Oh, my goodness gracious. Those birds were screechy. Ooh. How are all my friends? You guys are my friends. I was watching It's a Crime and Shame, and a certain person didn't want to mention the thing, but it was right there on her live, and so I went over there, and she's a Canadian, a true crimer person, and I checked back. I think she started 3 years ago, and boy, she's got quite the following. And I mean, I don't mean to compare myself to other people, and people just said the other night, don't sell yourself short, and somebody wrote in my thing, Mazzy Star said I'm an amazing woman, which is like, I don't always feel it, and I don't always feel like I act like it, and I'm not, but I needed to hear that today. I was feeling kind of, I don't know, like not depressed, just a little out of sorts. It was weird. And I think it's because my whole day changed from what I expected it to be, but yet I was kind of tired anyway. Because I got up early 2 days ago to meet the maintenance guy because our sink was clogged in the bathroom. And we have two, one in the master bedroom where my son has been now for a couple of years, but it was the hallway one. So I just thought he was going to unclog it. No, we had to have a whole new faucet thing put in, not the sink, but the faucet thing. So he had to come back. What happened? He never came yesterday. That's what happened. And that's okay. Like you really do, especially as you get older, learn to go with the flow more in things. But today he came and he fixed that. And, bless his heart, it's just him and another guy at this whole place. And he's thrown in here. Thanks, wee Jobby. Very motivated watching me. Thanks. Locked and loaded. Long time no see, woman. Good to see you. Well, thank you. Locked and loaded. Who is that? Hi, Mary Jane Doe. I'm like trying to... Who is locked and loaded? Doesn't she have a channel? Yeah, so I got a new faucet. And, oh my God, these hairs. Anyway, yeah, hi, Mary Jane Doe and Hunter. Oh, your name used to be Miranda Wright. Okay. Wow, good to see you. You probably have your own channel with a name like that. Locked and Loaded, maybe? Hi, Hunter. Hunter gave me a rose. ADHD's new here. Well, welcome, ADHD. You're so funny. Says that every time, he or she. Messy Jessie. Hey, Papercut. Good to see you. Amanda Elizabeth. Hey, Tina. How are you, love? Oh, you guys are just so sweet. Waving hands from Mary Jane Doe. Freeside. Howdy, Papercut. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights was the first one here. Happy Tuesday. Hey, everyone. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of... it's not about money. And like I said, I don't even want to have I wish I could have super chats. If I made money, then I wouldn't have to try to get on SSI. But I don't think I can get Cash Apps and PayPals. I haven't put my thing up in 2 weeks? Because that's just going to mess it all up. With having a stroke and a heart attack and my really bad tremors, I'm a good candidate. And like I said before, I can dance, I can move around, but I really do need help because I take care of my son. And I could be getting paid and all that, but I would have to go to the courts, and his dad would more than frown upon that. And do you know what I mean? So to come here every evening when I'm not feeling 100%, kind of like what Team Rose says, I don't want to become complacent with my channel. You know what I mean? So I had some coffee and I went out in the sun a little bit, and I should have brought my potted flowers or the ones I have on the deck out, but I thought I'd be out there a half hour, and it was nice. I mean, it was from 5 to 6. But the sun's coming down, so it's real warm on your body, but it's not blistering hot type thing. But I don't know what it was today. I don't know if it was 75 or what, but it was quite warm. And so anyway, I didn't get to the store, so my daughter and I are going to walk. It's about a mile up there, and that's good for us. And then take a cab home. I'm completely out of litter. I mean, I have no litter. I have my litter boxes that are half full, but no backup. So that's kind of a weird feeling because I always buy 4 or 5 at once. And so I think just because my day didn't go completely as planned, it's normal. So you got a new one. Oh, the new sink. Okay, yeah. The pretty hearts. Thank you. Um, Whoops. Oh my gosh, I'm that far behind. Okay, how far behind am I? Oh, okay. She showed her old name up above it used to be Miranda Wright. Okay, and I do remember that name. Thank you, everybody. Thanks. As long as you're not making full-time money, there's some kind of cut off limit. You can still make some money. Yeah, and people can work part-time on SSI. I paid for my Social Security. I'm getting that. And since my mother passed, she used to help me with a little bit of the basic necessities. Thank God. I don't get a lot because I went for it when I turned 62, and I get 216 a month. And I'll tell you what, that that is a real relief around the 28th or so. So that's actually what I'm buying litter and things with tomorrow. Now, if I had waited right till I was 65 or 67, I could get 500 or 600 a month. But I just couldn't wait. Am I friends with, okay, Rose again? Yes, yes. We've been friends now, I'd say a good 2, maybe 3 months, maybe 4. And yeah, we just squashed things. And both of us at the same time, because she did a live and I was feeling the same way that day. Like it was weird. She did a live where she felt a shift and she just didn't feel any anger or hurt or anything towards me. And I mean, I do think sending, the little shirt back, the I object to bullshit shirt back to her, she really wanted that back, was a good thing and was helpful in that way. But yeah, when I ended up having my stress induced heart attack, and it wasn't her live or her, it was just my reactions to things and feeling really bad and missing my mom and pouring my heart out basically. And I got over, not exuberant, whatever the word is, over emotional, and had a stress induced heart attack. And so, yeah, and that was April 16th. And I was in the hospital from the 16th to the 18th. And so, I'm really blessed. I mean, think about it. People have strokes and have to learn how to eat again, walk again, talk again. And when I had my stroke 4 years ago, I had to eat, a crunchy granola bar to a soft one. And they had to make sure I could swallow, and it all went just fine in my speech. And now I know why, and they had me walk up and down some stairs with a belt thing around my waist, because I was pretty weak. When you're bedridden, I mean, it was only 3 days. Felt like, I don't know, like maybe it was a stroke too, but it felt like 2 weeks, and it was only 3 days. So yeah, we're friends. I've been up on her panel a couple of times, and I don't always catch her lives or even her little shorts or whatever, because they're very impromptu, like mine are, and that's how I am with everybody. I don't. I keep things simple in my life. I don't write things on calendar. Oh, you've got to be to this channel at this time to support them. I can't do it all anymore. And I'm not saying I did it all before, but I did a lot. And being a single parent, when you're flipping what? I guess I'm a grandma age, even though I'm not a grandma, isn't easy. So, and now my parents are passed, and even when they were alive, they were all the way in the Midwest. So they helped me financially a little bit here and there, but not for years and years. I'd say it was the last, before my mom passed, good 8 years, but my whole life, no. And Yeah, better off keeping peace over the internet so you don't have trashing videos about me. Yeah, and what I learned is that when you feel like you need to defend yourself, it can become a vicious cycle. Because then if the person, anybody says something about you the next time or whatever, if you don't say anything, then it seems like, geez, there's some truth to that, right? So it's a vicious cycle, and I know she's doing better too. And yeah, so I mean, that was a wake up call. And so my music is more relaxed. um, I've been talking about mindfulness, and I have a whole book on it. I might cover parts of that next. I'm not quite sure. Um, uh, yeah. So, and how is Beautiful Rose? I mean, she seems okay, but in some of her videos, she's really kind of down, kind of depressed, um, and she says that, right? Um, she's been in my chat before, and here, a few times. But I don't know. I mean, she gets to see her kids now and then, but you get so used to and her grandson having, right, your children around every single day for half of your life, and then it just changes and they all have to go on with their lives. I get that, but I think she could be missing family and not even realizing it. Although she does really like her kind of space to be able to do what she needs. And I think she's worried. She seems a little worried slash concerned, and I don't blame her. With the bed and breakfast house, and it needs painting and it needs new. One of her lives, she said she needs new flower beds um, and that kind of thing. But she lives in such a beautiful little town with the water nearby, and honestly, that's kind of like what it's like here. I might get a nice big phone from my son. Well, that's what he wants to get me, and on there I can YouTube, or not YouTube. I can film whatever, and that would be really nice. It'd be nice to be able to walk around a little bit and show you guys Bellingham and the bay and the marina and Boulevard Park and below Del Donovan, where Shaylin and I went this past Monday. Um, so yeah, apparently I want to say, well, I don't know. I was told the story by my ex's mother that a guy, Mr. Bellingham, was his name, was the first to arrive over here from I don't even know where. So I don't want to get it all kind of screwed up, but that's where the name came from. And and yeah, she's still dancing, but she doesn't like to do too many lives. Yeah. Oh, I scared you when you saw us in the hospital. Then you post a rest in peace poem. What? Had not heard it. Your mom. You're sorry about your loss. Oh, and then I posted a rest in peace poem. Oh, and you had not heard. Oh, so you thought I was just really, really sick still or something, maybe. Yeah, my mom just a little heart attack, a little stroke, and that's what she called him because she was sent home the very next day from Mayo Clinic. And then a few months later, found out she had stomach cancer, and she believed she had that for many, many months and didn't know. And she was constantly going to the Mayo Clinic. And I mean, she was 83, so of course she didn't want to, you know what I mean, do the necessary chemo and all that to maybe keep her alive. But she went on hospice pretty immediately after finding out, and yeah, passed, I'd say, within 2 weeks. What is the channel that you started on? Oh, Scruffy Guy. Oh my gosh, you guys are funny. I don't know who Wee Jobby is, but that's Dolly Vision, right? Jimmy Williams. And that's where I started. I started calling in the show, and I've always really been into true crime, right? I've always watched A&E and Oxygen and, all the kind of scary mystery, whatever things out there. Um, and I called in his show, and it kind of changed my life because I ended up getting a name through him and Three Dot, and then I was invited by him to be the co panel guest person, whatever. And I found that out in my messenger through Maggie from the UK. So I never asked, that's for darn sure. And I didn't even know he kind of wanted that kind of thing. But that lasted 3 months, as most of you know. And yeah, yes, he really did ride a horse for the very first time the other day. I thought maybe he, when he was a little boy or something at the fair, might have ridden on a little teeny pony. I'm not really thinking so. He did look pretty nervous, but he did just fine. So, and yeah, he's still on YouTube. Okay, just so she know. Okay, assuming Bullhorn Betty and Dolly are still serene. Oh, yeah, Bullhorn Betty. I don't know what's going on with her. In all honesty, I think she's had a pretty hard past year, But oh, okay. Mary Jane Doe says, yeah, I was looking up info about Jack and Lily. Missing Kids, Nova Scotia. Bullhorn Betty was streaming. Right, they don't stream together anymore. Hi, Max Smith. Thank you. Thanks for hopping in here again. That's really nice. The more the merrier. Please hit the like. Hello to the 14, the number 14 next to the eyeball. You guys are in the lilac bushes because they're in full bloom now. Shoot. And then I saw the name the other day, and now I can't remember whose idea that was. But yeah, so yeah, and speaking of depressing stuff, I was thinking this last night, and I haven't been following things, but I think one of them maybe acted out or something and got hurt to the point of, what, the other one saw it, right? And, or was there. And so one of them, possibly one of the parents or relative, I don't know, said, you both got to go. Do you see what I'm saying? So there wouldn't be any witnesses. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think there's any wandering off. I've seen a few little videos. Yeah, no. More than likely they're buried somewhere. It's really sad. That's just my opinion. And then the other thing is those three, age 9, what was it? 9, 7, and 5 or something. That's Washington State, you guys. And oh, their scent ended at the end of the driveway. Well, what if they were being carried, Mary Jane Doe, like in a blanket or something? Because those dogs, they can smell stuff through the water. But maybe it does have to be on the ground. I still don't think they wandered off. Maybe they were walked off and then put in a car. And do you know what I mean? Yeah, I just don't know. But those 3 little sisters that said goodbye to their mother to have a visitation with their dad were found yesterday on Monday, deceased at a campground. And it was up on the news, on my TV out there and in my email. And you could actually, somebody or a camera took a picture of the pickup in Washington State, and the little girls were in there. And I remember saying to my daughter, that's not good. And they won't say quite yet how they were killed, but horrific. Anyway, he's on the run, frickin' creep. And he looks kind of like a youngish guy, maybe all of 30. He used to be in the military. More than likely, he's armed. And it was a campground in Chelan, Washington. And I have my ex's relatives live in Chelan, so I have an idea where that is. Who? I don't know their last names, but it's three little girls. Found the big mistake the script creators made in the Moscow hoax. Yeah, you were up on Roses, weren't you, Max? Explaining that and everything. Everyone went to Simon. It was crazy. Oh, remember everyone went to Georgia Quint Simon. It was crazy. Yeah, it's the word contentious. It's behind the $sign. Oh, it was crazy content. It was crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I still think today that Danny, her boyfriend, knew a lot more than he ever let on, and could have even a little bit of responsibility, anything. And yeah, he really got off scot-free. When was this? Did I see? I was on Roses to explain to Leanie why it is a hoax. Yeah, well, I mean, so you don't think they were even killed or something, or something? If I change this page where my music is, then I have to find the exact spot, and I don't want to deal with it. But yeah, I mean, why would somebody run off and leave their little 5-year-old daughter with someone that has that many issues if he wasn't just scared to death? Skylar or Sky, or I can't remember. I mean, you just don't do that, You think you saw that one? Yeah, you guys. So these 3 little girls are passed. One's kind of brunettish, a little older. The other blonde ones look just alike. The mother must be just sick. For him to do that, and it's during his visitation, obviously it was, I think, to get back at the mother. Yeah, really, it's just too much. Too much, especially that comes in my email. Another influencer, Murdered, supposedly this young man, fairly young, maybe he was a teenager even. I think he was a teenager and she was 17. He was making verbal advances and she wasn't interested, and he was lurking pretty often outside of her house. This was in, I believe, Pakistan. She's a Pakistani girl. Her skin is very white, but I could tell by her red dress, long thing, that she was a different heritage. And yeah, he pewed her just the other day, like a week after her 17th birthday. It's just one thing after another, Oh, you found the videos. 3 children. Geez. Yeah, Mary Jane Doe. Right. Hi, Kelly. The father was homeless. That's right. He had the girls for 3 hours on Friday. Yeah, you're right. that reminds me. They said he was homeless, he was staying at campgrounds, things like that. Those poor innocent children. Jeez. Yeah. Wonder why I didn't get an alert thing on my phone. I mean, even though I have a flip phone, I still get the alerts usually. Or maybe they're, I don't know, you'd think there'd be one put out. There has been in the past for little kids missing from Yakima and whatnot. But yeah, so um yeah, I mean, yeah, Mary Jane Doe, maybe apartment and house prices shouldn't be so high. it would reduce a lot of stress on people. Yeah, I mean, people are lucky. I'm just going to say it right here, right? Jimmy's got a house, which what he got from his mother or something, and he's put money into it, fixed it up really nice, but he doesn't have to worry about rent, right? Um, and PJ, I hear PJ's living with her mother, so she doesn't have to really worry about rent unless, excuse me, she has to give some of her money to her mom, and maybe she does. And then other people that aren't divorced, right? And are in a house. I used to be in a beautiful house, a little white Rambler, and the carpeting was white, and I mean white. And I had a fireplace inside, and it was really nice. And we were paying a mortgage, and then things fell apart with him and I, and mostly due to drinking issues. I stopped for 8 years, and he kept going on it. And yeah, we ended up getting a divorce. But um, when things get physical, and they did in the car with him and I won't go into all the details, but it was pretty bad. Then there's a restraining order, and then that's when I moved here. I had to move somewhere that accepted housing and for domestic violence people. And I was one of them. And that was in 2001. And I'm still gosh darn here. 15% of homes are bought by two generations, like parents and kids. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, people used to move here to Bellingham because Seattle was so expensive. I'd say it's neck and neck now. That's what I've heard. Um, yeah, and I mean, when I ride my bike to the AA hall, I see at least three, sometimes four people homeless. Like you can just tell they've got all the stuff on their back, backpacks and everything. And when I left the other day, just down the street a little bit, there was a grocery cart with all this stuff in it. And of course, I glanced over when I went by, and this guy looked really, really down and out, like to the point where I almost got off my bike and I was going to walk up and give him, I got 10 ones so I can put a 10 or a 1 in the basket each time, at AA to contribute to keeping the hall open. And I wanted to just give it to him and say, here, go get a coffee. Or I've told him before about the AA hall in the past when they're kind of close by. I'm like, you don't have to have even really a reason to come in here. You want to get a cup of coffee or you need whatever, but I don't know, like something just told me to just keep going, because these days, I mean, seriously, you guys, people can just, what if I look like his mother and he pulled a knife on me? What if, or his sister, what if he was really high on drugs and I thought he was just tired and just had his head kind of down and he attacked me? Like, Kelly, you think the father was getting back at the mother too? Yeah, it makes me think of that one guy, right? I can't remember the name, you guys. Was it in Oklahoma? Was that even the state where that father pewed his three sons like that outside or whatever? How does one decide if they are alcoholic? Supposedly, if you, well, at AA, no one's supposed to tell you if you are or aren't. That's for you to kind of figure out on your own. If you get a sponsor and they're like, gee, your life is unmanageable, then you know. If your life is unmanageable. Now there's the high functioning or whatever alcoholics that drink every night or whatever and go to bed and get up and go to work and all that. But I've heard it's a pattern. Like even people that drink quite a bit of beer just on weekends or something probably are an alcoholic. It's, if you want to know, they say don't touch it for 90 days. You can go 90 days without a drink, then it's questionable. Chad Dorman, there's the name. That was crazy. What he did was crazy, and the fact that, I mean, oh my gosh, his life is just over, you know? Dr. Jeffrey McDonald knifed his wife and two daughters in 1975. Yeah, I mean, it's been going on a while. I said this a few weeks ago, you guys. There's a lot of MURDERSUICIDE going on with families. And I mean a lot. People don't believe me anywhere. Google it. You'll find out how many since just January all over the country. Yeah, and then that whole thing I'm sure you guys saw, who made those what are they called, Mokolov or whatever, cocktails with the gasoline or whatever, and a couple people were burned really, really bad. And he had his shirt off, I guess, in the footage I saw. And it was a march for these people wanting the what are they called? The captured people. See, I can't think of words anymore. To be released. And anyway, he had his shirt off in this footage. Well, apparently he caught himself on fire. He didn't look burnt anywhere. But then that was, I think, 2 days ago. And today they arrested the wife and the 5 children. ICE did. Because he's from, I better not say because I can't remember, but a different country. But, you know, those poor children, you know, what if they were in school, or what if they just expect to go home and have a normal day? I mean, I know everything has to be looked into, but do you know what I mean? So more than likely, the wife and the 5 children are going to be deported. Money for capture. I knew 2 guys in high school who deleted themselves. Both were 3 years older than me. No info about those cases. Oh, wow. I've never seen that. Deleted themselves. That's a good way of putting it. But it's just so depressing. And a lot of men are unaliving their families instead of just getting a divorce. Yeah, just get a damn divorce. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. And I mean, I guess some of the reasons are right. They don't want to pay alimony. They don't want to pay child support. They don't. Well, then get along, or get some counseling, or quit drinking, or do something to right things, because the kids suffer, and the other parent, you know, the other parent. And it's just a lot, you guys. It's out of control. So I'm going to do what I usually do, put my avatar on, and so you can hear my voice codes. I should come up with something besides codes. My voice rhythms. Instead of algorithms, my voice rhythms. All right, there we go, voice rhythms. But will I remember that word tomorrow? No. It's probably not a real word, but that's okay. And going to read from the book The Wise Heart, and it's by Jack Kornfield. And for all of those that have stuck with me in this book or pop in now and then, I appreciate it. So we're on chapter 13, halfway through this book. I only read parts. If I read the whole chapter, we'd be here 45 minutes of continuous reading or an hour. And voice of rhythms. Yeah, voice of rhythms. So we're on this chapter, the transformation of desire into abundance. So I just put desire into abundance. And yeah. Our world runs on desire. We would not have been born without sexual desire. Without continuing desire, we would die. There is desire for love, connection, understanding, growth. When people lose their desire to live, they jump off a bridge or swallow pills. We need desire, and yet desire is also a great challenge for us. And there's healthy and unhealthy desire. Then it leads us to freedom that is larger than the desire, where we can transform desire into true abundance. The idea is not to be without desire, but to have a wise relationship with desire. There are both healthy desires and unhealthy desires. Know the difference, then find freedom in their midst. The traditional description of unhealthy desires include greed, addiction, overwhelming, ambition, gambling, womanizing, and avarice. I don't think it's avarice. It's AVARICE. I've said it the last couple of days, and I don't even know what it means. So I need to find out. Maybe someone in chat would like to look it up and write in what avarice means, because I've said it now. This is the third time. Unhealthy desire gives rise to possessiveness, self-centeredness, dissatisfaction, compulsion, unworthiness, insatiability, and similar forms of suffering. Healthy desires allow us to feed and clothe and care for ourselves, to tend to our body and our children, to develop our work and our community. Healthy desires are associated with caring, appreciation, and loving kindness. For all of us, these same healthy desires give rise to dedication, steadiness, stewardship, graciousness, generosity, and flexibility. They are the source of happiness. So we have the unhealthy desire, which creates suffering based on greed and ignorance, gives rise to possessiveness, fear. There's avarice again, and clinging. Maybe avarice means like not knowing, not trusting. I'm not really sure. Healthy desire creates happiness based on wisdom and compassion, gives rise to care, stewardship, generosity, integrity, and spiritual growth. Freedom and abundance beyond desire bring playfulness and ease into the world of desire. Okay, so the cost of grasping our desires. I've talked a lot about grasping and aversion and delusion, these last few. Those are the three different personality types. And I'm pretty sure I'm grasping. We need to release unhealthy desires and hold healthy desires lightly. To transform desire, we first have to feel how it works in the intimate experience of body and mind. Desire can lead us from sublime pleasure to raging addiction, from bodily survival to spiritual longings. Desire drives mushroom hunting and investment banking, Sufi dancing and rock and roll. But these are the contents of desire. What does desire itself actually feel like when it is present? What is its effect? What happens when we grasp our desires most strongly? There is a tension in the body, an emotional contraction, a stickiness of mind, a focus on the future. There is a driven quality. Anxiety, jealousy, rigidity, and insecurity all become stronger. When we are lost in desire, the heart closes. At its extreme, grasping and desire become addiction. At its extreme. Oops. Okay. The suffering of desire is apparent in addiction, but ordinary desire has its suffering too. We want to be thinner, more charming, admired, successful, secure. We use our desires to distract ourselves from discomfort. When an unconscious feeling of insecurity, boredom, or emptiness arises, desire follows. We open the refrigerator, turn on the TV, lose ourselves in distraction or busyness or addiction. We want another piece of chocolate cake to inspire us, a drink, or a tidbit of gossip to make us feel better. Desires act like temporary painkillers. While they are harmless at first, we can become habituated. The more lonely and separate we feel, the more we turn to desires to compensate. We go through our day yanked by the chain of one desire after another until we finally lose touch with who we really are. Though the world may reward us for our driveness, internally we are diminished. We can also recognize the costs of materialism when desire becomes out of balance. To recover from innate freedom and balance, we have to study desire and be willing to work with it. How? It depends on our conditioning, on whether we are prone to indulgence or to suppression of desire. For those of us who easily indulge their desire, seeking to fulfill one desire after another, the wisest approach will require a powerful discipline of letting go. But for those of us who are afraid of desires, who have been conditioned to ignore, suppress, and fear them, another remedy is needed. We are not our desires. Hi, Wild Angel. Hello. Beginning meditators. Okay. We are not our desires. And I spoke about meditation 2 weeks ago, and I've done it one time. Not every morning like I said I would. I would need it to become a habit to even remember. With mindfulness, we can witness the arising and passing of desire. We can allow the body sensations, the feeling states, and the stories of desire to be graciously received without judgment. When desire is met mindfully, the energy of desire will often intensify for a time and try to overcome us. If we don't rush to fulfill the desire, but simply stay present, the discomfort will eventually pass. Then we can notice what follows, usually a sense of ease, a peacefulness in body and mind, until desire arises once more a short time later. So they're talking about, having that desire for an extra drink or piece of cake, or maybe even to call somebody on the phone again. I'm just hypothetically saying that. when you have a desire to do something that may not be exactly the wisest thing to do. You know what I mean? To the extent that our childhood was marked by deficiency, trauma, or lack of love, a deficient sense of self becomes very strong. Healthy desire. We need to distinguish between the painful desire of addiction and driven ambition, and the healthy energies of dedication and commitment. A dream or powerful goal, whether to write a successful novel, to compete in the Olympics, or to create a thriving business, can be pursued in different ways. If the goal exists to prove that we are worthy, to cover our insecurity, or to conquer others, it will ultimately prove unfulfilling and come to an unhappy end. And yet the very same activity can be done in a healthy way, with dedication, commitment, and love. Healthy desire leads to freedom. To live in this world wisely, we have to go beyond the extremes of being numb to desire and being lost in desire. We need to release unhealthy desire and learn to hold healthy desire lightly. From grasping to abundance. Okay. Through the practice of mindfulness and compassion, desire can be transformed. First, we can release grasping, greed, our deficient sense of self. Then naturally, through the psychological principle of reciprocity, there arise three opposite states of generosity, abundance, dedication, and love of beauty. We discover that our natural state is one of wholeness and fulfillment beyond desire. We lose touch with the joy and simplicity that letting go of desires can bring. Our inner abundance radiates a sense of worth, value, and ease of having something to give to the world and enjoying doing so. Without abundance, we can be in the midst of riches and feel like a hungry ghost. Wise parents and teachers bring out abundance in their children by helping them feel that each has much to give and providing them the opportunity to do so. For each of us, whether raising a child, building a business, planting a garden, or serving our community, a heartfelt dedication is required. Wise dedication springs from our own sense of inner abundance. Inner abundance. The truly abundant heart is already whole. It embraces our world with all its joy and fear, gain and loss, nobility and selfishness. The state of abundance is connected with a deep sense of gratitude. Natural generosity. As desire abates, generosity is born. When we are present and connected, what else is there to do but give? In the abundant heart, our sense of welfare expands. We do not have to work at a hospice or in an emergency room to serve. Sometimes our generosity is the giving of a smile, or silence, or listening, or a warm touch. Sometimes it involves action, time, money, our commitment to justice, our vision for a better world. Every form of giving is a blessing. What is truly a part of our spiritual path is that which brings us alive. If gardening brings us alive, that is part of our path. If it is music, if it is conversation, we must follow what brings us alive. When our heart is released from grasping, generosity and beauty flower. So I have a little exercise for you guys, if you're willing to do this. The practice is generosity. Life is giving to life every moment of the day. Take several days to pay attention to this movement of endless generosity. As you go about your daily rounds, first notice the gifts of the natural world. Notice the way the gift of sunlight streams behind everything. It feeds the plants we eat and gives us the oil from ancient forests that fuels our cars and lights our lamps at night. Notice too the rainfall in the rivers, the water that gives itself to the blood in your veins, to the neighborhood insects and trees, to the interdependent collaborative in which we swim. Now notice how generously you are held and supported by the earth under your home and your feet, by the air you breathe, by the warmth of the day and the coolness of the evening. Now look at the unending care and generosity in humans around you, parents with children, teachers with students, healers and business people, all serving one another. People stop at red lights so you are safe to go. They line up in the market. They share the parks. They cooperate in 1,000 ways at the office. The shopkeeper and the mechanic, the bank teller and the cook, the healer and the engineer give themselves to their work, supporting others with countless hours of unspoken generosity and love. Of course, there are also times of resentment and being overwhelmed, when people are disgruntled and disaffected. But most of the time, the people around you are giving in conversation, in action, adding the generosity of their life energy to the flow of the whole. Spend a day or a week just noticing, naming, bowing to the stream of generosity everywhere. Now you can deliberately choose to add to this stream of generosity, not as an obligation, but as a way to be happy. Like all human beings, you already give in a myriad of ways. Delight in whatever you do and discover you can let it grow. Try this practice. Whenever a thought of giving enters your mind, do it. Whether it is a gift of money, time, helping care, or offering a possession. If you even think of a generous act, follow it. Sometimes we worry that we will regret our generous acts. We second guess ourselves and a bit of doubt comes in. Don't believe the doubts. Instead, look for any spontaneous thoughts of generosity and follow them. You will find that they inevitably make you happy. Okay. Well, I forgot to read this again. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticisms, comments, news reporting, teachings, scholarship, and research. So that chapter was a little bit longer. And yeah, it made me, when I read that last part 2 nights ago, I don't know, like, I mean, obviously I'm aware, right, that there are people out there giving all the time with their time and their stewardship and everything else, but to kind of see it on paper and to really think about it was helpful. And I really hope my son can see the world like that, not as like a scary place to be, you know? Yeah. So I've been live an hour and 15 minutes. There's not really too much more to talk about, but I thank you all for being here. Whether you stayed the whole time or stopped by or were in the lilac fields. Thank you. This is PCT is Extreme, and I will just go ahead and play my outro song, which we all know, Unapologetic Paper Cut Tina. And And of course, I'll probably have to dance to it.
Hey, paper cuts, red crown, clean chopper. Supermom vibes, keep the scene in order. Ruby hips move smoother than rich butter. Life's the jungle, she chopping through the utter clutter. Unapologetic steel in her veins. Flaming red hair, igniting the flames. Trap bounce, turn heads, no need for claims. Tina got the world spinning in her lane. Feel good anthem for the heart to break. She bends but don't fold. Wrist, what's at stake? Deep bass drops, hearts quake, earth shakes. Tina on fire, every move she makes. Hardcore grind, she make the rules bend. Fierce mama bear, no time to pretend. Mic in one hand, babe in the other. Queens don't slumber, she a force undercover. Molded chaos, wears it like a crown. Life threw punches, but she never stayed down. Dynamic rhythms, put the drama out of town. Paper cut, Tina royalty profound. Feel good anthem for the unyielding crew. Dance floor breaks and defeat like it's new. Rap beats rain, 808s in the blue. Tina's groove conquering, bold and true. Hey, paper cut, Tina red crown, clean shopper. Supermom vibes, keep the scene in order. Ruby hips move smoother than rich butter. Life's the jungle, she chopping through the utter clutter. Unapologetic steel in her veins. Flaming red hair, igniting the flames. Trap bounce, turn heads, no need for claims. Tina got the world spinning in her lane. Feel good anthem for the heart to break. She bends but don't fold. Risk what's at stake. Deep bass drops, hearts quake, earth shakes. Tina on fire, every move she makes. Hardcore grind, she make the rules bend. Fierce mama bear, no time to pretend. Mic in one hand, babe in the other. Queens don't slumber, she a force undercover.
Oh, God. Bye. Thank you. Love you guys. Please hit the like. Please subscribe if you're willing to.